Hello guys, welcome again. Today I'm going to explain you how to get the miner's hat and the myths surrounding it. But before we start with that, I want to talk about the lore of this place, because it's a rather awesome place if you know what it really is. If you're not interested in the lore of this dungeon, please just skip to the next part. I'm gonna put a timestamp in the description. Story of Uldaman starts with the Titans. During the Antorus raid, the final boss, we encounter the Titans and we can see what these Titans are. Basically, you can compare it with the Greek gods, and the seat of the Pantheon is basically like Mount Olympus, where all the Titans stay. As you can see, there's one seat that's empty. That's because Sargeras, he's the Dark Titan, he's fallen to darkness, so he's no longer good, and that's why this seat is empty. I'm going to explain you now what these titans do and who each titan is. Their task is basically just to shape order into the chaos in different planets and worlds. As you can see on this picture, you have all the titans, and they basically have to kill or imprison the old gods and everything that threatens the world and the existence of life. In the middle, you can see Sargeras. As you can see, he's fighting the creature, and he used to be good. He looks different than we know him now. Basically, he just turned evil because he saw all the evil in the world surrounding him, and at some point he just thinks it's kind of pointless just to keep fighting it. The next one on the list is Amon. He's well known for the trinket that can drop from the final boss in Antorus, Amantul's vision. He's also responsible for creating the keepers. They basically are creatures that have to guard some important places. He's also the leader of the Pantheon, so he's a real important character in WoW. In the middle, you can see Ra. He's a keeper of Throne of Thunder. He's the final boss if you do Heroic Throne of Thunder. And on the right side, you see Odin. He's in Halls of Valor and Trial of Valor. So yeah, this is an important titan. The next one on the list is Ianor, the Livebinder. You might know her from the Antorus raid. During the final encounter, you get killed, and Ianor gives you a tree where you can resurrect. So Ianor is well known for her healing powers. Ianor is also responsible for giving powers to Freya. You know her from Ulduar Time Walking or Ulduar Normal Raiding, where, as you can see, she is almost impossible to kill because she heals that much. So she got her powers from Ianor. She's also responsible for creating the Emerald Dream. So it's an important lore character. And on the right side, you see Ysera, the green dragonflight. For those who raided Dragon Soul during the Ultraction fight, you get a buff from Ysera for healers, so you could heal more. So basically, that's another power she got from Aeonar. So Aeonar is all about healing, healing, healing. The next one on the list is Norgron. He's a titan of lore and magic. He's also responsible for Malygos and the Blue Dragonflight. It's all about magic and magic. He also created two keepers. Loken, who is sitting in the middle. He's found in the Halls of Lightning dungeon. And on the right side, you can see Mimiron. Mimiron is inside Ulduar, and if you're lucky, you can get his head as a mount from the Yogg-Saron encounter. Now we have Golganet. Golganet is the Titan of the Ocean. He created the Sea Giants. He also created two keepers inside Ulduar. In the middle, you have Horir. He's the Ice Keeper, and at the right side, you get Thorim, who is also a keeper. Next one on the list is Cosgrove. He's the craftsman of the Titans. He's like the blacksmith. He makes their weapons. He's also responsible for Arcadus, which you can see in the middle. He's like the keeper of Uldaman, and the final boss of it. And he's also responsible for giving Neltarion or Deathwing his powers. To end the story of the Titans, we have Aggramar. He's the successor of Sargeras, who went evil. After Sargeras went evil, he had to fight all the evil in the world. So he's like this new soldier for the Pantheon. At the right side, you see the hand of Tyr. Tyr is a keeper who has fallen. He basically just died. You might know him from Tyr's Fall Glades. It literally says Tyr is fall, so Tyr has fallen. That explains the name of the zone. So to continue the story of Uldaman, we have to go to Uldum. Uldum is the other of the three Titan cities. For those who've done the Cataclysm questing, you might know this place from the Harrison Jones questing. In this questline, you discover that Tatooine servants are trying to use the Halls of Origination, which is a dungeon, to communicate with the Titans. They want to let the Titans know that the planet is corrupted, so they could cleanse it. So this is basically a weapon of mass destruction. The third Titan city is called Ulduar. This is the Rat of the Lich King raid. This place wants to guard the old god Yogg-Saron. This one is corrupting the land of Northrend, and for that reason we have to go and contain it. You can only contain it in a prison because killing it might destroy the planet. In this place you can see Algalon. He has been sent from the Pantheon to see if the planet is corrupted. His conclusion is that it is, so we have to prevent him from sending the message that would destroy all life on Azeroth. Uldaman is basically a Titan vault. It contains some ancient artifacts, and that's the reason why you see the Explorers League for the Alliance side, or the Reliquary for the Horde doing their archaeology thing. It also contains some experiments of the Titans. The Trogs, which you can see here, are the first experiment of the Titans to create life. For obvious reasons, they weren't that happy about it, so they gave it another try. So their second attempt are the Dwarves. This is the reason why you see Trogs and Dwarves in this dungeon. Let's talk some boss lore now. The first one on the list is Rev Wash. He's a Trog boss, as you can see, and the dwarves who are related to Trogs call him kind of an archaeologist. Some others call him a thief. You needed to loot him to get an item to summon Ironaya. That's the third boss of this dungeon. The next ones on the list are the Lost Dwarves. They are a reference to the game Lost Vikings, who released in 1993. It was one of the first Blizzard games. I'm gonna show you some gameplay of this game so you can see what it is. No idea how I jump. So let's go with the next. Let's run away. As you can see, I already died. If you think you're better at this, just search it and you can still play this game. After you killed and looted the first two bosses, you used to need 2 items to summon Irinoya. And nowadays you can just summon her. There isn't much known about her. She only guards the treasures that are inside this vault. The start of the event to summon her refers to the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark, and there she is. The next important lore boss is Galgan Firehammer. He is sent by the Iron Dwarfs to make sure they don't leave anything unexplored. So he's the supervisor of the entire digging operation. Second to last one is Grimlock. Grimlock is the chieftain of the Trogs that still live inside Uldaman. When you kill him, he clearly states that. His name refers to the Transformer Grimlock, who is the leader of the Dinobots. So as you can see, he says, me Grimlock. So the last boss is Arcados. He's basically the keeper that Titan sent to guard the vault of Uldaman. To prevent him from killing you, you have to get the right words. But the words are lost, so he will always attack you. So just kill him and then you might get lucky and you might get the miner's hat. Now let's dive into the miner's hat. People would almost do everything for it. If you check the comments on Wowhead, people are willing to transfer their character to be able to buy this. If you check the Undermine journal, there aren't any miner's hat on the auction house at the moment. But still you see comments from people that state they loot it from time to time. So if you ever loot this item, be aware that you might get a gold cap or more for it. So let's see where people get it from. Some say it can drop outside the dungeon. You kinda had the same thing going on in Scarlet Monastery. When they revamped the dungeon in Pandaria, people said you couldn't loot the old items anymore. But if you killed the trash outside the dungeon, you were still able to get it. So would the same be true for Uldaman? If you check all the things over here, it used to say the loot chest drops it. Now with the new patch, it says it's a zone drop. For a while, I've been camping an alt outside this dungeon, and I've been killing the trash from time to time. The only thing I got was the earthen rod, as you can see here. The add-on says it can only drop from the trash, so it's a zone drop. So it might be possible that the miner's hat drops here as well. Other people, they say it's no longer in the game. After Cataclysm, lots of dungeons changed, including Uldaman. Some people asked the GM about it, and GM confirmed it still drops, but couldn't tell where it drops. So it's still 100% sure it's in the game, as you can still see people getting it. Another comment is someone stated he saw it up for 5,000 gold during Legion. Then I read a comment about people not having the gold to buy it, and they felt bad about it. Or these guys are trolling, or they might actually didn't have the gold for it. This is also why I make this video, to make sure you always have some gold to snipe it if it pops on the auction house, and the second reason is to make sure everyone knows the value of this item. The next theory is that as you farm it on a max level, you'll skip a phase. When you kill Arcadus, it's one shot, so you don't get a phase where he summons the ads. Some people tell us you have to wait for the ads because they are the ones that drop it. This theory seems unlikely for me. In theory, they could drop it, but since the drop chance is so low, it's not worth waiting for it, so you'd better just speedrun it. As you can see, the Earth and Hull Shaper, they drop loot, so if you wait for all these guys, you get another chance. But by the time everyone has spawned, you've already cleared it and you can do another run. So most likely it's the final chest. I just looted it and I'm not lucky again. But basically, I think this is the one where it can drop. It's so rare that people say pretty much everything about it, and they want to theory craft and find out where it drops. But yeah, just keep farming it, and someday you might get lucky. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video. I hope you got some useful information. I've been putting a lot of work into this one. So I hope it gets some views. Remember, subscribe to my channel if you enjoy this. Let me know what you thought about it, and remember, keep it creepy.